Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai. Where to put that? Welcome to this last Satsang of this year. What if all that you could ever imagine wanting, all that you could ever imagine wanting and much more was already yours? In fact, was already you. Would that be the end of seeking or no? Now we can't put the cart before the horse, okay? You must come to this insight before you pick up the concept. I dropped seeking or I stopped seeking or something like that. It must be your tasted discovery that you are that which contains all. And you yourself are uncontained. And I see that many of you are having this insight. But the sticky habit of trying to apply it personally still comes back. As I was saying yesterday, you're finding out that you are the ocean. And now you're trying to fill up this ocean in the coconut. You see? You are discovering your limitlessness. And then you are asking, how does this help me? So these are just remnants of an old habit. Because everything has been applied to this personal me for so long. It can seem like even this infinite, uncontained existence you want to own as some body-mind organism. It cannot be this way. And that can seem very uncomfortable for a bit as you try to keep one foot in the limitless ocean and the other foot in the identity of being a body-mind. It can seem very uncomfortable. As you're learning to let go of all identification, where do your feet naturally land? When you do not have a notion about yourself, what is your natural state? When you're not trying to get something or hold on to something, where are you? This way makes it very simple. Bhagavan said that the truest knowledge is just the letting go of the false. What if I told you that the truth is completely apparent to you right now? It is completely apparent to you, but not to your translator. The translator is this one who is subtitling this life. We have been watching this movie with wrong subtitles. The movie has always been fine, completely perfect, as it is, not even perfect. But the subtitles have been telling you that you are something bound, you are something limited, you are something that was born and something that will die. And this notion of death is something innately repulsive. Something doesn't accept it. Even in those cultures where these kind of satsangs are not there, there are other concepts of resting in peace after death, or life after death, or resurrection. Because something in your heart knows that what you are, in essence, was not born and will not die. This essence has not gone anywhere. It is your very essence right now. How to get to this essence? Find out that which does not come and go. Find that out which itself witnesses all things. But itself doesn't have any attributes or qualities. For some time, bring the focus to this witnessing. And for some time, don't be so concerned with that which is witnessed. Move away from the content of the appearances for a bit. Because this content is constantly changing. But your essence is not. Yourself is not. It is no thing, but it is not nothing. If it was nothing, then you would be essenceless, isn't it? You would not have an essence then. You would have no self. But intuitively, you can sense that that is not right. I exist, and there is a root of my existence, a source of my existence, which is undeniable. This quality less undeniable. Is there anything else like this? This is your own self. Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi said that the most important question is to ask, who am I? And when he was asked to explain how to ask, who am I? He said, find that out which witnesses all things. If a thought is coming with the answer, find out who witnesses that thought. If some resistance is coming, some emotion is coming, some other sensation is coming, what witnesses that? What is aware of your sight and your sound? All sense perceptions. You are aware of them. But you yourself are unperceived. Now I trust that most of you are having this insight and have had this insight. And you will also see that unless you pick up a concept about yourself, unless you pick up a story about yourself, there is no notion of personal suffering. So when the great sages said, abide as the self, or remain as the self, it only meant don't pick up the pretense of the false. Don't identify with something which is not true. Don't interpret any sensation as your boundary. It is just an interpretation. Don't believe that any perception can contain you. Allow all things to come and go. Don't become in opposition to anything at all. Become more spacious than the space in this room, which has no judgment about anything that is dragged into it. Your being is limitless. It is unharmed by all experiences. Don't pick and choose what gets your attention. Allow whatever has to come in this life to come. Everything shines in your own light. Nothing is appearing out of the will of consciousness, which is your own being. This light is supremely intelligent. The universe does not make mistakes, and it has perfect timing. More spacious than space. You are. Now consciousness is asking itself, how long do you want to play with these mock boundaries that you have believed about yourself? How long do you want to play with the notion that you are just something? the truth of your enormity of your being that contains the multitude of universe. Is your very experience in this moment. Consciousness is reminding itself. How would it be to live without boundaries, without notions, without position, without judgment, without resistance? As natural, effortless openness, which is your very nature. In the beautiful Indian scripture, the Yoga Vasisht, there is a story of this mythical creature who's always suffering. Because this mythical creature has 1,000 hands. And each of these hands has a weapon with which it is hitting itself. You know what is this mythical creature? It is your own mind with 1,000 concepts. And as you're dropping each of these, you are finding that you're running out of ways to suffer. Now, maybe the creature also believed that these concepts are helping it. How will I live without my hands? So, my invitation for you is to try it out. See if it is possible to live notionlessly. You might realize that these were crutches that you never needed. That life was much greater than your idea about it. And even if the notion is I can't do it or I have done it, even these you give up. If the notion is I don't want to go that far, forget about it. If the notion is I don't want to end up like some crazy sadhu on the streets of Tiruvannamalai, forget about it. I promise you that the taste of this life, unmixed with your concepts, is much greater, it's much more universal than the taste of this life which you are trying to contain with your ideas about it, which you are trying to control. In any case, how is that control thing working out? Okay, since we are going on a bit of a break after this, if somebody has a question to ask, do you need a chair?
No, thank you. I want to ask you if how do I bring my focus more to the one that is witnessing if it can't be received?
Yes. So let's do this together. Yes. So you tell me what is being perceived to start with. Take as much time as you like. Start with anything that is in your field of perception.
Right now, it's just like a kind of sense of being as an energy, but
Now,
kind of.
very good. So it could be right off the bat, you're saying the sense of existence or being. But there could be some confusion about what it is, whether it is something energetic, and either is fine.
It's not so open as just the sense of being, so I feel there's some energy there.
Whatever it might be, what can we say about that which witnesses that?
Nothing.
So if I was to say there is nothing witnessing it, would that be accurate?
No, but I feel my mind is saying no, actually.
That's okay. Let the mind also be witness. Don't worry so much about what it is saying. Whatever is coming up as a perception for you, find out what witnesses that. So if the two options were that you are witnessing it or Shanti is witnessing it, what would you pick?
I was witnessing.
You are witnessing it too. Why does that seem more truthful than it being second-hand witnessing?
Because there is only this.
Yeah. Now, when you say there is only this, is that an inference? Or is this your insight?
I feel there's some insight there, but
yeah.
When I try to do this myself,
yeah.
It's like I keep asking, so what is seeing this and what is seeing this?
Yeah.
And so I get like flitting. It's like my attention can, for a tiny moment, look back, look
Yeah.
inward, and again there's something else, and then I go on. And is that the way it is? It just seems so
for
busy.
attention, yes, for attention it can seem like that.
Yeah.
You see? But whether attention is on an object or seems to be returning back home, what witnesses this movement of attention also? Is that also flitting? Maybe it is simpler than what we are believing it to be. Is it? Not maybe actually. It is simpler than what we are believing it to be. It is not even about the functioning of attention or trying to control attention. It is just a natural checking to see that whether attention is on some content or running about to find some content or just completely resting at home. What is aware of this attention?
So the frustration is that the focus or the attention keeps going. It's the focus keeps going where the focus is the attention. So I'm actually tongue-tied now.
Let your attention go completely where it wants.
Okay. But then there's the feeling that I can't find what I'm looking for because my attention is.
Okay, let's do this together. Let your attention go wherever it wants. No effort to control it at all. If it wants to go to thoughts, let it go to thoughts. Emotion, then emotion. If it wants to rest on your being, it can rest on your being. If it is just all over the place, it is completely fine. Are you aware now? Whatever attention might be doing, is there ever a moment of unawareness?
I don't know why. Sometimes I get so stuck that I can't even answer that. I can't even say.
Yes, but you are aware that you are stuck? Don't worry, don't struggle so much. This is just playing. Explain this. So when you say stuckness, there is some resistance to answer. There is some words are not coming. There's a play of intention happening. Sometimes you want to say yes, but the word is not coming out. All this can happen. Yes. Now you have to be there to see all of this. So it doesn't matter what answer is coming out. It is already answered in your own inside. that you're seeing all of this. You're aware of all of this. Even this indecision, who is aware of it?
Yeah, it's like what you say makes sense, and yet for some reason, sometimes it's more clear, you know, that yes, I'm aware of it, and sometimes it's like it seems only from inference that I can even say it, because the attention is, even though it's like there's been some sense of spaciousness there, but it's like there's still the attention is going out to some false sense of being, you know?
And it can go.
Yeah.
So we're not even at the realm of attention now. Whatever attention is going to is fine. Now the beauty about awareness is that even to say I am unaware actually implies that I am aware that I am unaware.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is that great and inescapable. But
well, you say not to come to any conclusions from inference, and so talking of implications.
So what we have to do is use this to come to this checking. So when I say I am stuck, am I aware of the stuckness, or am I inferring stuckness? What if I was to say that our task for the next few minutes is to become unaware? Just don't be aware. You're being aware. Don't be aware. Can you do it?
Easier.
Yeah. And when you're able to do it, tell me, I became unaware for a moment. All of you, don't try to abide in awareness. Push it away. Don't be aware.
So it just seems that when the awareness is like, I know it's there, and yet it doesn't seem to be what I'm tasting. You know, what I'm tasting seems to be all these other things.
Yes, because it itself, does it have a taste?
No.
It doesn't have a taste. And that is the beauty of it. Because every taste we get bored of. But this tasteless awareness just is.
Still there's, I don't know, there's just this feeling of that I'm lost in the phenomenal, even though what you're saying is true. I know it's true and I can see it, but there's this and it's frustrating because I'm wanting to know how to do this.
Hold my hand and I'll tell you what to do.
Okay.
Hold my hand so that I know you're not going anywhere. And try to get lost in phenomena. Lose yourself as much as you can in phenomena.
Well, yeah, I feel like already.
Yeah? You lost yourself in phenomena?
Yeah, I would say.
Is this your Is there what you're seeing, or you're relying on some influence that happened a few minutes ago?
It's what I'm seeing, because I'm more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every part of you now is phenomenal.
I know this is like.
To be completely lost in phenomena would mean that there is everything is phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that which is witnessing this phenomenal, that has also become phenomenal. Can it? If you were to try and push it out.
But still, I feel unable to bring my focus to it.
Now,
because there's nothing to be seen.
Yes, when I say focus, I don't necessarily mean this in the sense of keeping or trying to force our attention into this. I'm just saying, for one moment, just check. What witnesses this? Let the question itself do whatever work is needed to be done. You don't force anything at all. Which part of you is now completely contained in phenomena?
There's no part can be contained.
Why is it not sounding like the good news that it is? It seems like the answer is being forced out of you.
Yeah.
Somewhat like that.
I think it's because it's like this simplicity, although I can sometimes recognize it, it seems it's still in my life. I'm getting very caught. This, like you're saying, so don't pick up the concept. Still, it's like more of my attention is out there, and I'm picking up concepts all the time. Sometimes I can be just really lost in the person, and there's this feeling of, I suppose, I'm wanting guidance of like what do I do next? And yet I know you say there's no doing, but I've also heard that there is some effort required in beginning. I'd like your guidance if there's anything you can offer to me.
So this insight, when you get it, see, this is what I've been saying, that you're finding that there is something which is limitless here. Now, don't try to contain it in your life. Or don't even worry for some time about the implications of this for your life. This is what I was saying about ocean and coconut. So don't worry for a bit about the life of his soul, what happens in it. Just leave the insight unmolested for some time, with no implication. It does not have to mean anything at all for anything.
even right now, the inside feels like something very small.
Yeah.
At other times, it's felt like something very big and expansive. But I suppose it's not really about.
We can look at this. Anything that comes actually is very useful. So don't resist anything it is coming. So if it feels small or if it feels expansive, find out within what space is the small or expansive. Is the smallness of it inside something which is larger?
Sometimes I just go blank with these questions.
Yeah. That's fine. You get used to anything, even the blank coming, and that's fine. Because the blank is also perceived within you. The smallness, the largeness, the blankness, all of this is perceived within your own being.
So when you're saying for a while, just don't worry at all about the life of result.
No, at least what I said is that don't worry about what implications your insight is bringing to the life of his own.
Okay, because that's somewhere that a lot of my energy goes.
Yes.
So
let the life of his soul go on normally, even if it feels like it is identified most of the time, it is fine.
And so because you're telling us don't pick up these concepts, and I go, I'm picking up so many concepts. I'm mostly lost in that.
If it feels natural, if it feels like this itself is becoming a struggle, then you let that be. Because what is happening is that you're having these moments of insight. Very quickly the mind can come and say, but what does this mean for me? My life has not changed. I'm still mostly like this or mostly like that.
And then there's the feeling of failure.
Failure, unworthiness, all this.
All that comes. Yes. And yeah, I've been feeling like, I'm just coming, sitting in satsang and I'm not making proper use of it. So it's like, so it's okay.
Of course. How? That is too much pressure, to say, I am not making proper use of it.
Yeah.
That is just too much pressure.
Because
nobody actually can make proper use of it. It is just that the words themselves, if it's anybody's fault, it is mine. Because they have to carry that potency. Maybe I'm having a few off days. But I'm saying, I'm just joking. But I'm saying that, but there is really nothing that you can do about this. That's why even today when I was speaking, I was just speaking to that which is, I even prefaced it by saying consciousness is reminding consciousness. So as long as we take on some notion of doership, then that one has nothing to do with this.
But there is the one, isn't there the one thing I can do is this keep checking, like you say?
Anything that I can say actually can be turned into something for the checker guy to make you guilty. I'm not checking enough, or this is what I was told in satsang to do. And actually, there is no template for this freedom. Sometimes words come up because the predominant condition in the room or those who could be listening to this could be a particular way. You see? And sometimes the opposite is said because the condition could be opposite. You see? So to come to neutrality, like I was saying that day, sometimes the whack has to come from the right, sometimes the whack has to come from the left. You see? Now, what can happen many times is that anything that has been heard in satsang, it becomes a way to make yourself feel guilty or not adequate enough or not doing things properly or something like this. If I was to say to you, forget about it, okay, then would the checker guy even make this into a checking saying, are you forgetting about it? I don't,
yeah, my checker guy would.
So, would you say it is easier if you were to let this be my problem?
Yeah.
Yes. When you get on the Guru train, Bhagwan said this very beautiful example. He said, when you get on the train and it's going to Trivandrum, you don't look every 1 minute and say, am I getting to Trivandrum or am I getting somewhere else? Because you trust the engine driver. Then when the mind seems to have us in a hold like this, that no matter what inroad is being trying to make it co-opts that and said, no, this, you're not doing this well enough, or this is not yet happening for you, or this is really not working. Sometimes you just say, okay, I'm in the Guru train and it will take me where it wants to take me. And all this pressure is on. And like a little child, you just... The children also actually, they're constantly asking, are we there yet?
There's been a lot of resistance to like this feeling of like, I don't know how to surrender. But
Yes.
maybe it's just having your invitation and knowing I have permission to do that.
Yes. That's the best part of this. There is no how to surrender. Even the surrendering then is the master's problem.
Yeah, like I think it's until, there's been this feeling of like, I have to carry this myself. But I'm very tired.
You don't have to carry anything at all. This is what I meant the other day also when I said that you have a lifetime pass. Now, you have a lifetime card at the Leela now. You can just walk in, eat when you like, don't eat when you don't like. Let the insights come if they come. If they don't come, they don't come. Nothing is your problem.
I can feel the fear that comes and the resistance that comes there.
What is the message of the fear? Is it a messageless fear or
no,
just fear?
It's like, what if?
What if?
It's hard to say it. Like, what if this isn't my? What if it's like it's more person-based stuff,
Yeah. The best part of this surrender is that even if you're completely at the wrong place, it still works. Even if you're holding the wrong guy's hand, it still works. It has nothing to do with this Ananda.
Yeah. Just to be reminded of that. Because I make that mistake a lot. I keep seeing you as a person. Yeah, because I see you.
Even that is my problem.
Yeah.
You can see that the one looking through these eyes is not Ananda.
Like, there's a place in me that recognizes what you're saying. there's a temptation to say, I feel honored, but even that's personal, you know, it's not that. It's just
whatever is coming, you can say. You are now
but it's
surrendering.
not, but I realize it's not. It's
all this is not your problem to handle now. Even whether it is personal or not, it's not your problem. You don't need to self-censor anything. You don't have to speak anything with intention like, I have to speak this or not. Whatever moves, this moves. Okay, any other question? Jaya said, thank you for the sharing. Same feelings here. Yes, forget about it. Very good. Come soon. Don't forget about that. The hand is starting to move up. Of course, always. My daughter these days, she just be on her iPad or computer or whatever. So she won't move. But every time I cross her, and she's like, why are you just going without giving me a hug? Then I was telling her, but how come you can't get up and just give me a hug yourself? No, she has to keep lying there on the computer. Actually, the fact is that many, many, many master keys are there to this freedom. But there is no master key which is applicable for every expression of consciousness. It has not made this game so simple. So we must never feel unworthy or guilty or something like that. Just like in yoga, every body is made differently. You cannot benchmark the flexibility of another. Okay? There might be more strength in that body and less flexibility. You can never say, how is it that another is able to use this pointing and come to this, but another is not able to use this pointing and come to that? Never be. It all depends on what is the conditioning that consciousness is playing with at that point of time. And maybe that's why I have to come Monday to Friday and speak for 3 hours, so that in the 15 hours of satsang every day, every week, maybe something will just get a hold, something will explode, or not. One golden rule which is more or less applicable for anything that is said in satsang and to all of you is that if anything you hear in satsang makes you feel unworthy or guilty, just forget about it. It is not meant for you, for that at all. How would it be if constantly I'm saying you're not the doer? You see? And then at the same time convincing you that you are not being worthy enough, you're not trying hard enough, you're not doing the right things. It is not that. It is just various ways in which consciousness is reminding itself of itself. That is the reason why when our first printed book it came out, we called it Consciousness Speaking with Consciousness. So that it doesn't give this impression that some personal intervention is needed. You can either do it personally, you cannot own it personally, because there is no such thing as a person. Expecting a notion to do something, it's just impossible. I used to take this example earlier, I don't know how many of you have heard it. If you imagine yourself to be whatever you want, you can imagine yourself to be a young man, an old lady, and just believe enough thoughts about this imagination. Can that one even get you a glass of water? It is just imagined, you see? It is just a notion. So our separation is just a notion. And when consciousness will be done with this notion, it will be done with this notion.
So even surrender is a notion.
Yes, ultimately, yes. So, to surrender is notional. Coming to notionlessness is to be surrendered. Is it? Okay, Hari wants to ask one question. He can come. I have to unmute him. Okay, now you can come again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, very good. Is it okay now with this new connection if both of us are unmuted? It is still quite manageable. You can hear me well?
Yeah.
That's good.
Should I mute when you are speaking?
It should be fine without it also. Let's try.
Okay. So good. Thank you.
Okay.
But just like probably you mute and it's echoing back. Yeah. Like there's a like a underlying belief of experience is too different. That the sense of separation, and it is like feel like that's the only cause where all this even all kind of uh, this even sense of progressing or not progressing and doing effort, it all underline that underlying belief of separation, that whatever I is experiencing and this physical form where this experience is experiencing, although when I look, there's like seeing that or even this sensation or this is experience inside of me, this body is experience inside of me, but even that it's just that belief that this is I am separate and this what been experienced is separate, and probably means if from that all this even desire to free or desire to uh, not getting, or I should be in certain environment, and that all sense of doership being knowing comes from that feeling of I am in control of somehow I can change something, or I'm in control where whatever appearing where I have role to play in that appearance somehow. And that's like because of that there has always been that sense that I should be in an environment or place where it more can marinate within me or sense of this thing. So that like this is the only most of the time concern. Sometime.
But even this underlying belief in separation is gone now. In this moment, it is gone. Is there an underlying belief right now? Oh, okay. We cannot unmute.
Hello.
Yeah.
I guess there is.
Okay. Now you should be able to unmute yourself. See? Before the notion came, I guess there is. Was there an underlying belief? Like right now, like I've been doing these days now. See? It is going just naturally. So suppose you forgot about this notion of underlying belief. Then where is the duality? You can unmute yourself.
Not there, but that aha moment.
So the underlying belief might be that the aha moment has to come. But that is also just notional. There is no duality, no separation, unless you have a notion. And there is, without duality, without this notion of separation, there is not even desire. There is not even doership. So even the wanting of a aha moment is the result of consciousness believing itself to be wanting of something. What is missing naturally right now? Welcome, my dear.
Just feel like sharing something. That day when I messaged you after that, surprisingly, my son, my sister, she generally wants to do something. That sort of stuff. Can you hear me further?
It's breaking up a bit, but maybe you can try again.
So I dropped you. I posted on Alt Alter few days before when Swati was under bit of stress, and like surprisingly, I can see how it is working. Like, she generally watch Guruji video or something, but that day she ended up watching your video at night, and without even I telling anything. And she had some dream where she saw reality. This also kind of inside in dream. And morning, I was like all over the mind, and I was like really concerned about her. And she was watching your video, and she was very peaceful, and it's like very apparent your all have.
Very good, my dear. Very happy to hear this. I also saw her beautiful message she posted for me. I saw that. Very beautiful. Thank you, my dear. I'm happy to hear.
Thank you.
Father, like you said, there's a lot of guilt and unworthiness got picked up after listening to these words. And not only makes the matter worse, but it also loses the faith on the life also. Even day to day life, it's like life is vindictive. They'll have to punish you or slap you to get back to your own true self. You know, that kind of. So always feeling like fearful all the time. So from where the wrath will come. So that I don't know.
See, right now, if I was to say that in Mozambique somebody is having malnutrition, you will feel like you also have it. So don't worry about it, because that is the current state, right?
Yeah.
So
But for
That's
the
why I said.
online, I can see that there is a personality like that. So I can see that even before having attacked I used to take things. It used to make me feel unworthy and guilty somewhat. That tendency is
Actually, there's the thing with any pointing, even the pointing to drop the feeling of unworthiness can oh, I'm not able to drop the feeling of unworthiness. How unworthy must I be? You see? That is the play of these intuitive pointings and the mixing up with the mind will come like this, because if the pointing would hit straight through without any interpretation from the mind, you see, then it would have, I mean, the play would be easy. But the play is designed with a lot more intricacy. You see? So in this seeming play between, in the Mahabharata, there are all kinds of weapons which will show up from both sides actually.
So Father, is it dependent, even because of this constant, not now, before that there is a constant lack of fear on life also, life is not supporting you. There's a constant, subtle, I'm not saying that. So is it related to unworthiness also?
Is it okay right now to, if I say, just don't be concerned about this aspect at all? Yeah? Better right now to be free from this inquiry. Just be free from all whys. Why is it like this? Why is life like this? Why is this happening to me? And if you feel like you're not free from them, then don't worry about why you're not free from them.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Just find this middle. I really want to listen to satsang without this.
For now, just what's in your plate is this feeling of fearfulness, and that we're dealing with together. Let's just be with that. Okay, we have a question from Itamar. Itamar can come. And you can tell me if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly.
No, you're pronouncing it perfectly. Sorry. Can you hear me, Father?
I can hear you well, my dear.
Good. Just spilled glasses and all sorts of things.
Take your time. Take your time. We have time.
Yes, thank you, sir. I wanted to bring forward I guess, the experience of being agitated easily I guess I could put it that way, or with family and children, coming from some kind of, blissful experience, contentment mostly, and then in the family somehow very short, and no patience for sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, both of us can contemplate this together because my family has the same complaint with me also. My wife, if I tell her something, she's always saying, "Would you have said like this in Qatar? Would you have told me if I was?" So there is something about family relationships which sort of brings our identity up to the forefront, and it is not unnatural in a way. Many of the sages have said like this, isn't it? Ramdas said, "Whenever you feel you're enlightened, spend a weekend with your family." So, but it's good. It's good to have this kind of contemplation. My wife and I were walking on the terrace one day for our after dinner walk, and she said to me, "How is it that your interaction with me is different from your interaction with the rest of the Sangha?" And I realized it opened something up for me here where I saw that I should be able to see even this life partner now that I've had for 23, 24 years with freshness every time we meet. And I won't say that in this outer play of Ananta that has really happened completely, but I felt a lot more openness is there now, and I do end up meeting a lot more with a lot more freshness and openness than what I was doing earlier. So this is a sticky part of the play. Is family relationships. Also, don't be too hard on yourselves.
Yeah, thank you.
It is natural, but it's good that you're shining your light on it and you're seeing that, yes, still in this play, these distinctions are being made. And as you shine your light on this, you will see that everybody starts getting more and more included in your universality. You see?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. All of us have a different experience with our families. And the family is also in the play of the world. What comes from there also can be very different. Like sometimes if you become just like we are in satsang, and you feel like, oh, you're trying to be to Advaita with us and all that. If you're being regular, I feel like, oh, but you're being different from how you are in satsang. You see? So you just have to at one level shine your light on this, whether there is still some identity playing out from here, and as you're shining this light, then also trust what is arising. Don't be so tough on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself and say, oh, why am I being like this or not being like that? More and more naturalness will come in all our relationships. And it's easier without the expectation of 100%. It'll be 100% peaceful. It'll be 100% something. There is no 100% in this phenomenal world. Everything has some spice and salt mixed into it. Okay, so with this, maybe we can close today. Sending all my love to you and your families and everyone that comes into your presence. Let's send all our blessings and love to this entire creation, all the beings in this creation. May the Sadguru's grace touch everyone's life. May my Master Sri Mojiji's grace bring this truth to all beings. Let there be peace, let there be peace, let there be peace. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you all so much for being in satsang today. Sadguru Sri Moji Baba ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
Thank you all for your good wishes and wish you all the same. Love you, love you, love you. You know, all these things like New Year, actually ultimately are conceptual, isn't it? And yet there is some beauty in this play of New Year, year-end, sending blessings to everyone. So let's enjoy this play for what it is. So much love to all of you.